Hey friends! I just wanted to make a quick little video to share with you my latest harebrained idea, which I came up with next week. So basically, I've been having a few problems with my Game of Thrones inspired shoes, which you can see here. Now normally when I bring out a new design and then I post it online and put it on Facebook and everything, I would have made the shoes, I would have test run them, walked them up and down the road a few times, just to make sure that they're waterproof, they're not going to fall apart, and they're just okay to sell basically. But unfortunately I was so kind of eager to get these online that I didn't test run them. In fact, I was so eager that I only did half a shoe. So, but you didn't see that coming. So, unfortunately I've now come to the conclusion that they basically are too, I mean, for a night out they'd be absolutely fine, but realistically about 95% of my sales go overseas, and there's no way that I'm going to be, I mean I'll show you, I'm not going to be able to get these, see, in one piece. So what I've decided to do, which I haven't done before, I may never do it again depending on how it goes, oh, I can see it hanging off, makes me want to cry. I am going to show you how to make them yourself. That way everyone can have a pair and they're not going to get damaged, and I'm not going to have unhappy people sending me back their broken shoes. So I'm not going to do it today because basically I just don't have time. I've got to get a few orders sent out later on. But what I'm going to do is show you what you need to make them. So they are easy to make, they are very easy to make. Quite inexpensive as well, but they are time consuming, so I'll tell you that now. I mean, this one side of a shoe, I mean, normally I do a whole pair, just so you know, but yeah, took me about an hour and a half, and that was just for one side of a shoe, so it's going to take a while. Anyway, so first thing first, you need to start off with your shoes. So the beauty of making them yourself, you can choose, make sure they're the right size, and you can have any style you want really. I mean, these are the usual shoes that I use for like zombie shoes. They're kind of like my standard pair. The fabric on them is suede. I like suede because I find things generally stick to it better. You don't, I mean, if you want to use like a patent material or like a PVC, I will show you on the video how you'd go about using that, because it's just slightly different. So that's obviously first, your pair of shoes. Second thing, this is high-tack glue, and I use this a lot. Any fabric glue would be okay. The reason I choose this one is because it's really quite thick, so when you like pipe it out, it'll be kind of like it's almost like puff paint. Puff paint might work actually, I haven't used it, but you want something that's going to be able to pipe out in thin lines and stay 3D when it's dry, because that is for, you can't put the swords everywhere because the shoe does need some flexibility. So these lines here are basically, I've just drawn on with the glue. So I recommend the high tack, but as long as it's 3D it'll be fine. Second thing is cocktail swords. So I know this was pointed out earlier on Facebook, yeah, they're just cocktail swords, but no one else thought of it, did they? No. So these I got for, I think just a couple of quid on eBay. They're quite easy to get hold of, and I think I worked out you need probably about 6 packs of these to make one pair. If you want to use less, then obviously you're more than welcome to just draw on more of the swords with the high-tack glue. The other thing I don't have here is a glue gun. Any glue gun will do. I mean, I've got quite an industrial, like, big old machine, but yeah. So glue gun for that. And then finally is your spray paints. Now this is the base coat I use, and this is an outdoor paint, which is a matte black, and it's used for like barbecue. I think it says barbecue and wood stove. I think matte black looks better, but either way it's up to you. It's your shoes, you can make them how you like. So I've got that, and then I did originally just put kind of like a silver spray over these, and it didn't quite look right, so I've got the silver. It's like a really high shine chrome. I always prefer enamel spray paints because I just find them more hard wearing, and then I used a bit of copper as well, and that I think kind of brought it to life a bit. It just didn't look quite Game of Thronesy enough beforehand. So anyway, so that's what you need, and then hopefully next week I'll be able to do a tutorial and take you through it step by step, and we can all have matching shoes and have our own little club. It'll be cute. Okay, so I'm going to go and get on with my work now anyway, but yeah, I'd like to know what you think about this anyway. If it goes quite well, I'd like to do maybe some Halloween tutorials. We could all make our own Halloween shoes and prosthetics and see how it goes. But alright then, see you later guys. At the moment I've only done one side of the shoe, which is what I've used for all the photos and things that have gone online. So today we're going to be doing the other side. So first of all, you need to open your cocktail swords, and you need to mark out where you're going to put them. I mean, it's going to vary depending on the style of shoe you use and how big your shoes are as well. So if this is a size 7, that's a UK 7 version of my like kind of standard suede zombie shoes. This is what I use for like most of my designs. And I've started off with doing kind of like a fan shape on the outer corner here. So I'm going to do the same for the other side. So all you need to do is lay your swords on and kind of mark out where they're going to go. So I don't know how well you can see that. So you've got one lot fanning out here, one lot fanning out over there, and then another one on the heel here. It doesn't have to be completely precise, you just want to know where you want to do the high tack swords. So next step is you really need to make sure your glue's right down by the nozzle, because this tends to get air bubbles in and it kind of like explodes and makes it really messy. Then all you need to do is pipe vertical straight lines from the edge, top edge of the shoe here. Oh, this is really crap. I'm going to go get another glue. And your bottle now, which actually seems to have some glue in it. So, I'm going to try again. So I don't know how well you can see that, but that has basically got, oh, that's better, a whole line of glue. You see that? And now these are going to be kind of like fake swords. The reason I use the high tack is because it will stay 3D when it dries. So all you can do now is wait for this to dry. So I'm going to go. So I'm going to sit here in the sun and work on my tan. Okay, so I actually ended up leaving this overnight because it took a bit longer than I thought it would. So you can see it's dry now because it's gone clear and it's got like, if you can hear that, it's made this really good rich effect. So the next step is to make like the Rolling Stones and paint it black. Okay, so I've painted all our high-tack swords, and you can see that I've left out the fan shape we marked out earlier, which is where your cocktail swords are going to go. So next step, wait for this to dry. My glue gun to heat up for about 10 minutes, and you really need it quite hot because the heat is what helps bend the swords, which is what we've done on the back here. So I'm just piping thin line, kind of almost completely diagonal, and then just hold your sword in place for a few seconds. This is where having really long nails comes in useful. Ooh. Please be careful not to burn yourself. Okay, so the front of the shoe is quite straightforward. You've just got to draw your lines of glue and stick on the swords. Obviously hold them in place while they're drying because they can kind of slip around a bit. The back is the same principle, but oh, excuse me, I've got hay fever. For the back, because the heel's curved, you're going to have to draw on a line of glue. I mean, these are a little bit bendy, but if you bend them too much, they are going to snap. And the heat of the glue helps them bend, so you've kind of got to hold it in place and keep it bent at the same time without trying to burn yourself. So luckily for me, I've got really long nails, but please be careful. You can use tweezers, I find helps if you want to hold one end and then hold the other end down the tweezers. Okay, so there's a few gaps in between the swords. So what I'm going to do is break off the ends of a few to make it a bit shorter and then fill in the gaps. And you will find when the swords come into contact with the hot glue, they are quite flexible, they kind of melt. So I've just placed them on, and then where these ones are sticking out a bit, kind of gently bent them back and held them in place. And then when the glue cools, the swords will set as that and they'll stay in that position. Is building up the heel. So you kind of do it in rows. So we'll start at the top here and do like kind of, if you would use the fan technique again, so you kind of fan them out like that, then a bit lower, do another row, fan them out, and at the end I think I just drew on the swords using the hot glue, so just do like thin strips like you did with the high tack. Near enough done now. Once you've put all the swords on, if you just have a little look around, just see if there's any gaps that are worth filling. Sometimes it's easier to spray paint a black, which is the next step, and then you get a better idea of like bits that are missing and stuff. I think I might put an extra one up in this bit here. It's looking a bit sparse. So that was one whole side of a shoe I just did. And out of one pack I have 3 cocktail sticks left. So for a pair of shoes I reckon you're probably going to need about 5 just to be on the safe side. Last but not least, we need to paint it. So I'm going to give this side a full coat of our lac matte spray paint, and then when that's dry we'll just do a bit of texture with the chrome and the copper paint. I'll show you the other side. Very light bit, and you can layer it as well. Maybe if you go over it, do a bit too much of the copper or silver, just do a bit more of the black matte and then you can go over it again. So that is your finished Game of Thrones shoe. So I hope this has been helpful. I'm sorry about my rambling, but if you follow this tutorial and you actually make a pair, I would love to see them. So please message me on Facebook or Instagram me or whatever you want. Okay, so thanks guys.